Now, to be honest, I wasn't going to pay much attention to the Euro friendlies that took place this week. But after I saw that Miami score, and after I saw the highlight that's now viral of the Barcelona player, Memphis Depay, that kind of move that he put on that Miami defender, that's when the Euro friendlies got my attention. Number one, when I talked about offense in Mono 79, that's the kind of offense I want to see more of in the MLS. And it took Memphis Depay out of Barcelona to show us what real offense looks like in soccer. That's the kind of offense I want to see more of in the MLS. And as for Inter Miami CF, I can't be too harsh on that performance because a lot of those guys are not MLS starters. They're guys from MLS Pro and MLS Pro Next. It's a mixture of those guys. However, you had a guy like Gonzalo Higuain who started the match, and he couldn't even score a goal within the time he was in. Isn't Gonzalo Higuain supposed to be a star? Isn't he supposed to be the East Coast version of Garrett Bale? See, as a Miami football organization, you have a guy, an experienced guy like Gonzalo Higuain, who has experience playing in the European leagues. For him not to be able to score a goal in that match, that should tell you where he is as a player moving forward in your organization. The fact that Gonzalo Higuain could not score one goal in that match, him being the most experienced European guy, and he couldn't score at least one goal in that match, moving forward, Miami, that should tell you where he is as a player. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, a lot of people were using this Miami match to say that MLS is not on the same level as the Big Five Euros. Well, look, we already know that. And people never said that the MLS was on the same level as the Big Five Euros. I never even said that they were on the same level as the Big Five Euros. I mainly said that the MLS has the potential of reaching to the level of the Big Five Euros. And I said they eventually will reach their level between the years 2040 and the year 2050. But I never said that the MLS is on the same level as the Big Five Euros right now. I've always said that the Big Five Euros is the creme de la creme of soccer. They're the mecca. Europe is the mecca of global soccer. That's what I always said. So, you European fanboys that use these meaningless friendlies where MLS starters didn't even play the home match, friendly that holds no merit. Nobody gets any reward. It's just nothing. It's just for fan amusement. Really, these friendlies are for you, American European fanboys. The MLS is just making money off of you. That's basically what these friendlies are for. It's for the MLS to make money off of your emotion and your excitement and your fandom for these European teams. That's what all this is for. So you telling people on social media that the MLS will never be on the same level of the Big Five Euros, number one, you're short-sighted. You saying that the Big Five Euros is better than the MLS right now, well, yes, everybody knows that. That's not news. But what I do want to see once we get into the 2040s and the 2050s, I do want to see more meaningful competition between MLS and European teams. Besides the FIFA Club World Cup, I don't want the FIFA Club World Cup to be the only time where where a serious tournament takes place between MLS and European teams, because right now it looks like the FIFA Club World Cup is the only serious, real competition where an MLS team will be able to face a European team. The reason why I keep on bringing up between the years 2040 and 2050, because that's when the MLS will be near that level. The market value will be really high and the talent will be really high. See, MLS Next Pro is just getting started. MLS Next is just getting started. You know, you still got a lot of young franchises in Charlotte, Orlando, Nashville, St. Louis is coming next year. We don't know if Las Vegas is going to come. We don't know how soon Las Vegas is going to be here. NYCFC, they're still developing. New England, they've been in it for a while, but now they're finally going to get a stadium within this decade. You know, so the league is still developing. So by the year 2040, that's when the MLS should be solid. The year 2040, that's when the MLS will be solid. Special shout out to Charlotte. Special shout out to Minnesota United. And even a special shout out to you, Orlando. Because even though you lost, at least you scored a goal. And you only lost by 2 goals. It wasn't a blowout. You didn't allow 6 goals. You weren't massacred. So, special shout out to those 3 clubs. So as a result of these friendlies, my attention now turns to the Seattle Sounders. Sounders, you have a FIFA Club World Cup coming up. And even though you're at the bottom, you're not at the bottom, but you're below the playoff line in the West, and you're dealing with injuries. No, my word to you is that you have bigger fish to fry. You still see the people's perception of American soccer. And I'm talking about Americans, not really Europeans. I'm just talking about Americans. Americans clowning and degrading teams in their home nation. So you see what you're up against. For this FIFA Club World Cup, Seattle is going to be you against the world. Use this Club World Cup for mental preparation. Sounders, if I'm you, for the rest of this season, listen, I know you got a playoff streak. You have never missed a playoff since your existence in 2009. And I know you've been a top 5 seed in the West for multiple years. But maybe, Sounders, it's time for you to put that aside and to say, you know what? We have a bigger competition ahead. And that's FIFA Club World Cup. A competition that is 10 times more prestigious than a Supporter Shield. It's more prestigious than the MLS Cup. And it's more prestigious than a CONCACAF Champions League title. Why? Because this is a global competition. And you're going against, there's a possibility that you could face a European team in Real Madrid or a South American team in this competition. Those 2 nations are viewed as the real traditional football nations. America is not viewed as such. You win that, Seattle Sounders, this will be huge not only for your organization, but it'll be huge for the MLS. And most importantly, it will let the world know that American soccer has arrived. So Sounders, don't rush your injured players back. Let them get the rest and the medical treatment that they need, because you have a bigger objective ahead.